Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Island Vacation Travel Agency Podcast. We are here to unveil the secrets of the stunning gem of Saint Lucia, where I am from. Today, we're going to be exploring 11 key insights for your Saint Lucia travel visit from a local, me, Brian. I am your host, Al Philogene, a true islander, uh, born and raised on the tropical island paradise of the beautiful Helen of the West, Saint Lucia. I still can't get enough beauty out of Saint Lucia. That's just how beautiful it is out there. Even on the plane, when I ride home, I insist on the left window seat. I witness the breathtaking pitons when we coming in. And, my quest for bakes and like saltfish and that kind of stuff, saltfish and bakes, like how my mom makes it, is a limitless quest, man. What's going on and trying to figure that out, right? Now, this month it is Creole month, so I just wanted to, take some time to actually, jump back in and talk a little bit about St. Lucia. Of course, we're going to be going through different topics, but today we're going to be exploring the 11 key insights. So, bear with us, guys. We're going to be giving you some great information. It's going to be exciting. You're going to learn a lot. I'm pretty sure that you're going to learn some stuff, and it's going to be different, right? Now, St. Lucia is celebrated for its tranquility and beauty. But if you've been there, you might have questions, right? How do you soak it all in? What do you pack for the tropical climate? What about hurricane season? And also, a very good question, something we focus on: is it solo travel safe? Right? You're a solo traveler. Is it safe to go to St. Lucia? So we're gonna explore all those things, and that's what actually the first topic I'm gonna jump on. Today we've got your ultimate guide to St. Lucia, packed with everything you need to know to make your trip unforgettable. Right now, number one on the list out of 11 key insights for your travel to St. Lucia, we'll first go into solo female travel safety. Solo travel is generally safe, but stay vigilant against petty theft, use public transportation and taxis, and avoid getting into cars with strangers. Of course, St. Lucians are pretty nice people, but of course, you always want to stay vigilant. Keep your phone handy. Use a local SIM card. That's some advice that I don't always give, but I use it for myself. And all of my local people, I advise them to do that. Use a local SIM card when you're traveling to St. Lucia and inform someone of your plans when you go in as a solo traveler. So yes, it's safe to be a solo traveler in St. Lucia. It's pretty safe out there. You could use the taxi system. You could use the public transportation. You won't have a problem. I can assure you, everyone is friendly out there, and we're going to go more into that. Right. Next on the list, warm greetings will open doors for you. I can assure you of that. St. Lucians are known for their courtesy. Good morning, good afternoon, good night are common greetings. That's just the norm in St. Lucia. That's just how we are in that island. Not written in a favor, not reflected in a favor might turn you like a curious look. So embrace these niceties, engage in light banter, and show respect, especially to the elders. They appreciate that. That's just what makes St. Lucians St. Lucians. St. Lucians are some of the nicest people in the world. You'll hear that. I know a lot of people say it, but when you get down to St. Lucia, you'll experience it. And it comes from the older generation that have taught us this, and it's our duty to actually show it and present it when people come to our country, when we deal with one another, to be nice to one another. So hence one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure I highlight this. It's safe to travel down there, and just be nice to people. You'll be surprised where you end up and how people treat you, especially the older people, right? Next, on the list, number 3, language. English is the official language, right? Because England is we are Commonwealth of England. That has to do with slavery and all that stuff. It's a long story. One day I'll go all into it with you guys. But you'll hear a local French-based Creole as well, which I will go into it. Let me grab something right here. This is something I have, and I'm going to be doing a podcast on it. If anyone knows who Maya Sinister, which I will reach out to her, I have her Instagram information on there so that I can have a podcast with her. And I'm going to be doing some lessons with people who want to learn Creole, because French Creole from Saint Lucia, because I have a lot of people who actually are very interested in learning Creole. I even watch my wife trying to learn it. So that's a gift we have in Saint Lucia, to be able to speak Creole. It was beginning to become a fading language because a lot of the people in the city don't necessarily speak Creole. It's more people in the country and the older people. But I've realized lately, a lot of people are beginning to pick up the language a little bit more. And there are classes, there are books, there are podcasts. We're doing stuff on our end, and we have stuff for the future concerning keeping Creole in Saint Lucia alive. It is Creole Month this month. So if you haven't never been to Saint Lucia on Creole Month, call us and we could help you all plan a trip out there. We were there last year. We're not going to go this year. Might go down for Christmas, but Creole Month, the Creole language, French Creole, is very important to Saint Lucia. It has a long, long, long history. I'll just give you a little FYI. There were 14 wars for Saint Lucia. I think about over 200 years of war. That's like almost the age of America. Well, it's a little bit older now, but that's pretty much what we're talking about, right? So we want to keep that French Creole language alive. So just to give you a sample, sac passe, sac à fête, right? The Haitians would say, well, the Haitians actually have a different Creole from us, right? Sac à fête, sac passe, maboule, right? We say sac à fête, right? So we have that interesting aspect about Saint Lucia where if you learn a few basic words in the Creole phrases, like while you're moving around, it can enhance your experience. And guys, try not to learn all the bad words. That's what we always learn in every language. Try not to learn only the bad words, okay? Right? So next up on the list, we are navigating the winding roads in Saint Lucia. Oh boy, guys, that's an interesting story, right? The roads in Saint Lucia are very interesting because it's a very mountainous little island, right? It's pretty small, but it's mountainous. Saint Lucia's roads are an adventure in themselves, like no exaggeration. And driving on the left side takes getting used to, especially if you're from one of the first world countries who drive on the right. And you could expect stuff like sudden stops. You'll hear it in bigger countries, especially in Florida, people stating that person must be from the Caribbean the way they drive, because they just stop anywhere. So that's something. It's just that people are nice and people don't really, we're not in a rush. We're on an island. So there's no reason to get fussy and no reason to be in a rush or anything like that. That's just things to expect. So if you see it happen, don't be alarmed at it. It's not an emergency. It's not anything bad. It's just maybe someone saying hi to someone, being polite, right? Like I said, it gets you a long way. Watch out for motorcycles weaving through traffic. That's one thing I want to notify you guys about, especially if you're in the Grizzly area up north. Be careful with the motorcycles weaving in and out of traffic, but everybody's been polite on the road. Just be decent on the road, right? Next on the list, number 5 out of 11 tips before you travel to St. Lucia. We're going to talk about the green herb. I know you've probably never heard anyone talk about it, but let me give you some good news about St. Lucia, right? About the green herb, and we're talking about marijuana, is a common Caribbean throat, right? But in St. Lucia, it's been decriminalized, right? Not legalized. So it's not legalized, but it's decriminalized. So you're not going to be persecuted for marijuana in St. Lucia once you have a certain amount. Understand the legal nuances and keeping an eye on the evolving cannabis legalization is advised. Of course, before you travel, you could always visit the St. Lucia website, stlucia.org, to know what's going on concerning marijuana. So you don't need to travel with anything down there. You're going to be on an island. It's not criminalized, so you should be just fine, right? Next on the list, we have money, right? If you need to get anything, you need to have money. And I would say cash would be king, right? Cash is king in the islands. Like, no exaggeration, cash really is king down there, right? Um, while cards are accepted, cash is the preferred payment method. The Eastern Caribbean dollar is the official currency, and that's XCD when you're looking for the currency exchange, right? While the US dollars are widely accepted, it's advisable to carry some local currency for small purchases. Of course, you got to tip the people. I make sure I always tip the people when I'm traveling around Mexico, Dominican Republic, wherever I go around the world, London, anywhere I go, America, I try to tip, because everybody's working and trying to make a decent living. And I used to work in the industry on cruise ships and stuff. Even when I used to go to school, I used to do Uber and everything. Of course, I look forward for a tip, man. I enjoy getting a little tip. I feel it shows appreciation, right? So when you're traveling to St. Lucia, try to keep some cash so that you could tip the locals, because they're nice people, right? And for transportation and for roadside vendors, because they got the best food, right? Now, let me see. Let's see, I will say this. Number 7, feeding the strays. Pets are welcome in many accommodations in St. Lucia, right? And you will encounter friendly stray dogs on the beaches. You could feed them, try not to pet them too much and all that kind of stuff, because they may not have their shots as yet. They haven't been to the vet as yet. They're just local stray dogs. But you could pet there. You could give them some food if you're on the beach and you have something eating, but try not to encourage them before they, But yeah, you will see stray dogs. That's just something that is in the Caribbean and worldwide everywhere, only in America, England, Canada, and other first world countries where France, Italy, Spain, where you will see people have dogs all in the house. It's not that we don't have it in St. Lucia. It's just that we have our stray dogs outside so that it could protect the neighborhood, protect your house, and all that kind of stuff, right? So feel free to feed them. Number 8 on the list, dress the part. Now, I know people have free speech, freedom, and all that kind of good stuff, but I'll tell you, when you respect people, it goes a long way. Respecting yourself goes a long way. Respect local customs, right? Especially at places of worship. No toplessness or nude sunbathing on the beaches. St. Lucians are most conservative because they're church-based from their colonial past. So just opt for modest attire, right? You could sunbathe and stuff, everything. Just be mindful, like how if you be nude on the beach itself. Like they might have certain places you could do it in an adults only resort, like a Dreams or something, but try to be respectable, guys, But that's just some advice I want to give you all concerning even dressing the part, right? Another thing I want to bring into the light is number 9, travel documents. Ensure you have a valid passport, first of all, right? You need a passport to go to St. Lucia. Ensure you have a valid entry into St. Lucia. Certain countries need a visa. You have to research on that. You could go into the consulate and find out for your country if you need a visa to be able to travel to St. Lucia. Some do, some don't. We in America don't. England doesn't. A few other countries don't. Canada doesn't. So if you are, like if you're coming from the United Emirates or from China or Asia, you might need a visa. I'd advise you to check, right? So, list, we are talking about the Caribbean. And as we speak, I have family members in different islands, whether it be St. Lucia or Antigua. In the hurricane season, there were lots of hurricanes and a lot of stuff going on. So one of the things we actually have is the weather, hurricane season insight, right? June to November is the hurricane season. Sometimes it seems like it extends for a little bit longer, right? While St. Lucia's is in the hurricane belt, it's rarely heavily impacted because just where it's located, it kind of flies directly over it. Very rarely it impacts it, but we are on the hurricane belt. Stay updated on the weather forecast and hurricane precautions. Of course, we all have phones. Everybody got a cell phone, so you could actually just download an app and know anything that's happening around the world. So be mindful. The hurricane season is June to November, but that doesn't forget, right? We also have the weather, right? St. Lucia has a tropical climate. December to April is the drier seasons. Like I told you, the hurricane season is June to November. While May to November brings, as I told you, the rainy season. Hurricane seasons typically spans from the June to November, but also you could be mindful sometimes it comes all the way into December. Being a local that has been there, I've been at home for hurricane and there was a tropical front. So that has happened. So you could be mindful about that. So this is just 11 tips on St. Lucia and what goes down in St. Lucia and how to operate and navigate around St. Lucia. As I told you all, I am from the island of St. Lucia. I'll give you a little bit of information before I jump off. I am from the southern end of St. Lucia. I'm from Deriso. That is spelled Desruisseux. One of those days, I'm going to have a competition to see anyone that's not from Deriso if they could spell it. But Deriso is located is about 15 to 20 minutes from Vieux-Fort, which is where the Uranora International Airport is. And the city is about 45 minutes or 50 minutes away from us. The city is Castries. And the tourism section of St. Lucia would be Grosley, Rodney Bay area would be about 55 minutes. Of course, you have to the west Springs and the beautiful, majestic Pitons are. And as we go along, I'm going to go into more detail in a few more podcasts about those different towns, those different places, different resorts, different hotels in St. Lucia that you could experience. People, guests, agents that have sent there and their experiences. They'll give us some feedback on what it is to be in St. Lucia and what it is to actually experience navigating around St. Lucia and how to navigate in St. Lucia and how they've actually enjoyed it and what would make them want to go back, what they didn't enjoy. So I just wanted to come online today to actually just share some tips with you guys about the beautiful island St. Lucia and what you could do and how you could navigate, what you need to know, what you don't need to know about St. Lucia. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Island Vacation Travel Podcast. Right? Don't forget to subscribe for more travel inspiration. Until next time, may your travels be fulfilled with adventure. It's how we have fun in the sun, guys. Don't forget to tune in every Friday for podcasts. Sometimes I'm going to be live. Sometimes I'm just going to release it on Facebook, YouTube, and also on all streaming platforms. So it's not only video, it's also podcast as well. If you don't want to listen and you're driving, you could also listen to our podcast and learn something and hear about. You don't know everything I'm going to talk about because I've been around the world, live in different cities, different towns. So for my St. Lucian people, thank you for supporting. For all my people around the world, I see you guys, whether it be from China, Taiwan, Pakistan, Israel, Australia, Italy, Spain, England, Ireland, Canada. The list goes on. Thank you for all the love, guys. Share, like, and subscribe.